Welcome to the Ska History Hour with your hosts, Jose Rojas
Hello.
and myself, Daryl Rubio, wherein the purpose of this channel is to spread awareness of ska music and its subgenres to the world. Our guests today are Reverend Sinister, also known as Travis Nelson, and Jenny Whiskey from Hub City Stompers from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Jenny, Travis, we appreciate the time that you're taking to speak with us, to share your stories and your music with the ska community.
Sure enough.
Uh, please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your role in the band.
Um, well, you said my name. I was born in Pittsburgh, New Jersey, but I've been a Dirty Jersey resident since about '77. So there it is. That took over. Though I do still wear Steelers gear. I'm the frontman, vocalist, founder of the band, and I I jump around and pretend to sing stuff and yell and whatnot. That's my role.
He's also the band dad, and uh, I guess we don't say momager because he's not a mom, but he's like the band dad, dadager or something. Yeah. He does all the admin work that none of us want to do, so we can just show up.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I do all that shit too.
Cool, cool. So where does the band name Hub City Stompers
Sorry.
come from? Oh,
Yeah, and Jenny, what's your role in the band?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
I'm Deninsky, and I play sax and sing and occasional flute if the occasion calls for it.
Should call for it more often.
And every now and again, they let me play drums on a shitty punk song. So
Oh, nice. Nice. Now, so where does the band name Hub City Stompers come from, and what does it mean?
Hub City Stompers was the name of a crew of skins and punks and mods that used to hang about and cause ruckus in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And it's a crew that I actually founded kind of initially as a joke after an incident at one of New Brunswick's local bars, the Melody Bar, or actually it wasn't at the bar, it was after leaving the bar. And it kind of just grew into an actual thing from a joke. And over the this was back in 1992, mind you. And then over the next couple summers, it just gained traction, and more people, I guess, joined or were associated, and it was this big happy family in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And then while the crew was at its height, I joined the band Inspector 7 in 1994, and I wrote a song about the crew called Hub City Stompers, which is on our first album, the Infamous, which was released in '97. And then when Inspector 7 kind of went on a bit of a hiatus, I guess you could say, in 2001. I mean, I thought we'd broken up. That's what it seemed to me at the time. So I formed a new band, and with some members of Inspector 7 at the time. So we were mulling over what to call the band. And Lord Scucci, who was one of the founding members of Inspector 7, tenor sax player, who had come along with me to Hub City Stompers, I didn't want to call it, we're trying to keep the Inspector 7 spirit, but not call ourselves Inspector 7, even though we still have members. But he suggested Hub City Stompers, like in homage to the crew, which didn't really exist anymore after '95. Because the crew kind of fizzled out and people moved or got arrested or whatever. Yeah, it does. And so that's where the name came from.
Okay.
So it was a way of, half of the founding members of Hub City Stompers were from Inspector 7. So it was a way to kind of keep the spirit going and a reference, but not calling it like, Inspector 8 or something.
Right. Okay. That's cool, bro. Yeah.
So that is the name, and it just stayed.
Now, we see your band started around 2002. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Please tell us about how the band came together. I know you kind of did.
Yeah, well, so like I said, I7 had stopped writing and performing and touring, and there wasn't anything going on, and there was no official like last show or anything. Just everyone, I think, I don't know, some people were just kind of jaded and burnt out and
Mm.
kind of, I guess, done with it for a minute. But I wanted to keep going. I wasn't done. So, I talked to whoever in the band was down to keep playing, and they some of the members that were in Inspector 7 at the time came along with me, and I just pretty much hunted down the rest. Like I was literally, I had started working for Rutgers University in New Brunswick recently, maybe the year or two before that, and I drove a mail route, and I would literally, like, while I was driving my mail route on campus, I was like looking for people and like see it. And the internet was brand new, and I was trying to find people on the internet, but I was terrible at it because it was new to me. And I literally felt like, for instance, our bass player, our original bass player, Chris Finnegan, we called him Beer Blade the Mighty. I saw him walking down George Street with a stand-up bass and a whole bunch of punk and ska patches on his jacket. I was like, "It's not my band," and got out and had a chat with him. And so he's our original bass player. That's why I found him. And so I was literally hunted that down. Some former members of Inspector 7, Chris Joff, I hunted him down and got him involved. So I just kind of put it together, and we started practicing in this summer, maybe spring of 2002. I started looking in 2001, like fall of 2001, where I knew I7 wasn't going to be continuing. I started to hunt, and I had enough people in the lineup by the time it was summer of 2002, and we started practicing. We did a song for the Still Standing compilation, which was Megalith Records, Bucket from Toasters. After Mooney did Megalith. And that was I believe the first record on there was this 4 CD compilation showing that ska was still standing, I guess. Unbeknownst to me, I mean, ska seemed like it was in the doldrums at that time. But we did a track for it, Night of the Living, or the first version of Night of the Living. I think we have 3 versions now at this point, recorded versions. And then I think we played our first show in fall of 2002.
Wow.
Bound Brook, if I'm not mistaken. Hamilton Street.
And you played in Jersey somewhere, right? I assume your first show.
Yeah. I believe it was at Hamilton Street in Bound Brook, New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but that's what sticks in my mind is our first live performance.
Okay. Cool. What did the first practice look like, and how often did you guys practice then and now?
It's always pretty much been a weekly thing, depending on people's schedules. But it was, I believe, it was in Lord Scoochie's basement first when we first started. So it was there for a while. Very small basement, but it worked. And with his, sometimes there was like B grade porn playing on a small TV just for ambiance, I guess.
That's
awesome. Some movies. Sometimes there was sci-fi.
Sci-fi, okay.
But before he departed the lineup in 2004. So for the first couple of years, most of the practices were in Lord Scoochie's basement, and then he moved to Virginia.
Okay.
And Jenny, were you there at the beginning?
No, I was not. I was living in New Brunswick at the time, but I went through like a 2-year period in my adult life where I wasn't playing in any bands, and I spent that time like trying to play in every band, and it just didn't work out. Aside from like people my roommates and stuff. So I saw that there was a show at Rutgers, and it said 2 of the bands were featuring members from Catch 22, and the other band had members from Inspector 7, and I was like, huh? And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go because I'll probably know people there. Mm-hmm. And it was Hub City Stompers and Streetlight Manifesto. Mm-hmm. So I went to that show, and I had run into a lot of people I knew as predicted, and I ran into Travis after not seeing him for a while. And he was kind of like, yeah, so we're going to we need a new horn section because the horns are, probably going to kind of leave. So what do you think? And then I got approached by another guy that I knew from shows as well to be in another band called Bombtown, and ultimately I ended up playing in Bombtown. I didn't play with Hub City at first.
Oh,
And then when I was in Bombtown, my singer was in the Marines. He was a reserve. He had to go to Iraq. So I ended up, we practiced without him and wrote songs, but Hub City still needed a horn player and a guitarist. So me and the guitar player from Bombtown were supposed to be temps. We were fill-ins with Hub City until our singer got back from the Middle East, and then we just never left. We're like house guests that never leave. Well, Maddie left. The guitar player ended up leaving, but I never left. So
Awesome.
nice. Now, can you tell us about? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Was it your question?
I believe so.
It was. It was my question now?
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Well, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, so the releases that we show, we know that there's a bunch right here behind me. And then we've got some Inspector 7 ones also. We show Blood, Sweat, and Beers in 2004, Mass Appeal 2005, Dirty Jersey 2006. I think the shirt you're wearing looks like a Ska Black Sheep, maybe, of 2009. Beat, what is it? Beat of, I don't know, it's incorrect here. What is it with the 2015 Beat of It?
What are you looking at?
I don't know. I have something here. I don't know.
I'm looking at the albums behind you
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry. Best of. I don't know. The stupid autocorrect on the notes. Oh, so best of 2015, Life After Death 2015 also.
Are you reading this off a list? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Haters Dozen 2018, Blood, Sweat, and Years 2019, Drinking Rage 2019, and several different compilations. Now, initially, what bands did you first hear when you heard about and learned about the ska genre?
Myself, I mean, the first underground show, I'd been into punk rock and hardcore and ska and alternative underground music in general from when I was a younger kid, maybe middle school, I'd say, or just about before middle school, via my older brother who got into all those kinds of music and hearing the music blaring from his room and then my exploration of it. But I didn't actually go to my first. So I knew ska. I mean, he was into Madness and English Beat and things like that, along with all the hardcore, Husker Du and Black Flag and whatnot he was into, and the alternative, the replacements, REM, things like that, back in the early '80s. So I was collecting tapes and buying records, but so that's when I first got into music. And there were local college radio stations that would play it. WTSR out of Trenton, PRB out of Princeton. That's where that was my main source. I would tape the radio shows and then go to, places like Princeton Record Exchange and, buy the records. And then I started going to City Gardens, which was a local venue, right around the corner from where my father lived in Trenton. Well, it was a long walk around the corner, but essentially around the corner, 1701 Calhoun Street. And my first show there was actually Fishbone.
Oh, nice. Good first show.
Wowed me. I believe it was 1987. And then the next day I went back and saw Circle Jerks. So,
nice.
But so I guess you could say my first live ska show was, I guess, Fishbone. It was a mixed bill, I believe. I think it was, there were some other punk bands on there. It wasn't an all ska show. But yeah, Fishbone was definitely an inspiration after seeing them live, especially. That really solidified my love of the music. I essentially came up more so as a hardcore kid. I was much more into hardcore than ska or oi or punk or anything like that. Hardcore was really my number one. But I listened to all kinds of underground music, all the ones I mentioned, plus reggae, hip hop, everything underground. I went and then, I eventually started hanging out in New Brunswick, New York City, basically going up and down the Northeast Corridor on New Jersey Transit and just catching on what shows I can and meeting lots of people. And just took off from there.
Nice.
Awesome. Can you tell us about the band's writing process, songwriting process?
real
Oh,
quick, we need Jenny's answer.
oh, wait, I'm
Hey,
so
skip it
sorry. I'm
over
like
Jenny.
always jumping. I'm so sorry.
Um, it's fine. Um, I don't. I can't remember like the first ska band that like turned me on to ska. Like I came to ska by way of punk in the '90s, and so I'm sure like one of the like first ska bands I listened to was something like Real Big Fish or whatever. I really don't remember like the moment it entered my life. I remember hearing like not ska, but the first time I ever heard like when I was investigating punk and like its roots, and I heard X-Ray Specs and I heard the saxophone and Oh Bondage Up Yours, and I was like, oh, I can play like cool shit. Like I don't have to just play jazz. I have like a odd memory of hearing "Date Rape" by Sublime on a college radio station when I was like 12 or something, and my mom going, "I don't like this," and I was like, "Yeah, but he gets it in the end."
Yeah, in the behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to pin down exactly like where or what ska band was like the first. I really don't remember, truth be told, but I think the first official ska show I ever went to was when Catch 22 was playing as Gimp, which was in the sometime in the mid 90s. My friend in high school played trumpet with them. He was like, "Oh, do you want to?" Travis just heard this story because we did an interview with somebody else, and I told this story. But so yeah, my friend was like, "Do you want to like come to my show? It's my first show playing with them. My parents will drive you." And I was like 14, so I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I saw these local bands at like a club near me, and I was like, "Oh, like you can just do this with bands that aren't like super huge and people will come. Cool. Like I'm in." So that was a big deal for me.
Very nice. Now you're up, Jose.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I feel a little ill and I'm like out of it. But can you tell us about the band's songwriting process and how it developed over the years?
Uh, I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a specific process. Some of the in the early days, some of the songs were songs that I had written while in Inspector Seven, and that a few of them at least that wound up on Blood, Sweat, and Beers were songs I'd actually written in Inspector Seven that just hadn't come to completion or fruition before I7 kind of fizzled out at that time. And I don't know. I guess from album to album, it's kind of evolved a little bit. I've done a lot of the bulk of the writing, both lyrically and musically, and that's just changed. And the writing's diversified more and more and more over time. By the time we got to, Dirty Jersey, Maddie Glock, who she had mentioned, who was our guitarist up until about 2010, 2011. He did a lot of the writing on Dirty Jersey musically, and then you can see the evolution, or at least we can, and you can probably hear it too, though listening to the records, like I mentioned in the interview she mentioned the other day, that we did in Texas. This latest album, Drink and Rage, is basically the most just diversified writing wise. Just everyone came in from all directions with ideas and songs, and just it's the most just universally contributed to album. It's just so there's no real process. I mean, some will roll up with something, or and sometimes it's added to more, sometimes it's added to less, but it's really everyone always kind of puts their own stamp on it as well, and it's just it makes it this last time it really made for an awesome record. I mean, I thought Haters Dozen was really a good group effort, but this is beyond, and you can hear it style wise too. It's there's not a subgenre that's not touched. It's all over the place. But I mean, that's the way we are too. I mean, we've always had, even within ska, we've had various influences, and also from outside, underground music influences, and this one's all over the place, and I love it.
I will say that for someone who doesn't like really fully play an instrument, Travis has a really great ear for like songwriting and melody. Like he kind of comes in with like chord structures that he writes on an acoustic bass or on like a keyboard, and like we just kind of take it from there, and everyone kind of tinkers with it and does their own thing to it. But like he's started a lot of songs with just like, you know, chords that he figured out on like an acoustic bass, and like which is pretty awesome considering like I can barely do that, and I have a little bit more of an understanding on how to play like keyboard, so it's very impressive. And like sometimes the guitar, you know, the guitar players always have songs that they're working on and like little chord progressions and stuff. And then like sometimes I demo shit on my phone on GarageBand or whatever because like I'm not that great at keyboard or guitar. So, and then James, our trombone player, also like, you know, knows like keyboard basics. So he's come up with like basic chord structures. And Come and Get Out is on this record, right? On the new record, Travis?
Yes.
So Come and Get Out of My Life is written by James Kelly, our trombone player. He wrote all the music and all the words, and he sings it. And he came to us with this entire thing fully done. And then at one point, the guitar players were like, "What if we just switch this one chord right here?" And it really just like brightened everything. So we're very collaborative. There's no music dictatorships going on here. We all kind of put in our own, you know, little spice.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't tell you what a note is. If I'm playing a chord, I can't tell you what goddamn note it is or what chord it is, but I sure as hell know what I want to hear. So
That's cool.
great.
Yeah.
He's got a great ear. Like he doesn't. You should brag about it more because honestly, it's pretty awesome for someone who like doesn't really play an instrument. He'll hear if someone starts in the wrong key and he'll be like, "That's not the right key," and like some of us don't pick it up, but he always does. We get the
That's
silky.
awesome.
That
That's
is.
awesome.
I can't tell you what the right note is, but I know that's the wrong one. So I can't name the note, but
You might have
That's-
close to perfect pitch.
there you go.
Now, I know, Travis, you briefly spoke about Inspector 7, but for both of you, what other bands are you in or were you in prior to Hub City Stompers?
I mean, as far as any kind of just,
Any band?
well, I say serious or established bands. Inspector 7 was really the first real band I joined in 1994. It's funny to call it real, thinking back then, but yeah, it wound up being what it was. And then in 1997, I formed what I call my eternal side project, Steel Toe Solution, which is like a boy hardcore hybrid with my friend Jerry D, and that's still going. We play about once or twice a year. Like I said, the eternal side project, and Hub City Stompers. That's it. That's been the three that have, you know. I was in Inspector 7 from 1994 to 2014, so that I had a 20-year run with I7. Obviously, anything I wrote in I7, I never stopped playing in Hub City Stompers. Anything I wrote or composed, still play in HCS. But then, you know, HCS now has 8 albums of new music as well. And so in SDS, we put out a demo. I think a 7-inch and 1 album. That's it. So yeah, that's my trifecta.
I was in a lot of bands over the years. My first band was called Professor Plum, like from Clue, and I was in that band for like I don't know 7 or 8 years. I joined when I was like 14, and we opened for Inspector 7 quite a lot, which is how Travis and I knew each other already. And then I was in a band called Bombtown. I mean, I was in like a bunch of other little tiny bands that really didn't do much. But then I was in a band called Bombtown, which I mentioned before, and that was like a like ska, reggae, like slightly hip hoppy sometimes, like hardcore a little bit too band. Hard to describe. And I left them around like 2007 or something. Hub City, of course. If you want to count the Inspector 7 merge that Hub City had, you can count that. I was in a band called The Capturers that put out a really great record that I'm so proud of, but we no longer play, so that kind of sucks. But that was mostly based out of mostly New Yorkers. And Rude Girl Review. and as of late, Lady Hatchet Quartet, which is
Wow, great.
me and three other people from Rude Girl Review.
Review.
Lady Hatchet's original songs.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Now, Jen, did you start your instrument in high school at all?
I started my instrument in elementary school.
Elementary, yes.
I was like 9 or 10, however old you are, when you're allowed to start playing an instrument that's not the recorder.
Mhm.
But I was a flute player first.
Okay.
I played flute just because we couldn't afford a saxophone and they didn't have any spares. And then later on, my uncle had an old one laying around, so my parents paid for it to get fixed. And I played alto sax for a little while. And then the minute I had the opportunity to get bumped up to tenor, which is what I play now, I took it. And I was able to get a loaner for a while, and then eventually I convinced my parents to buy me one of my own.
Nice.
So yeah, and I've been sticking with tenor ever since. But yeah, I started young.
Nice. Nice.
She's
You ever
leaving
tried the
out.
Barry?
She's actually leaving out one of her more important musical projects, which I'm a little surprised about, actually.
Which one?
She's occasionally does a residency out on the Arizona-Nevada border with Nancy Schmumack.
Nancy Schmumack. Oh my god. Occasionally I sit in with her. You'll
That's where
never
the
see it because
that's
it's
where the real bread comes from.
Here's
Yes. Yes. Mhm. BTC.
I can't find your Professor Plum. There's three of them that you released anywhere.
You know, if you really want to listen to them, including our like crappy demo tape, like you can go find them. There's this, I don't know this, I'm sure maybe I do know who this person is, and I'm just not putting the name and the thing together, but it's called like NJPP Archive. Somebody took like all of the old New Jersey pop punk, ska, and like punk and hardcore bands from the 90s and early 2000s, and they made like they cataloged all the music and you can listen to all of it. And
That's
I will
awesome.
when
It's
we're
on
done.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, I think it's on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you if you haven't been
Yeah,
able
I
to.
got it.
He's
Oh
on there
yeah.
already. He's on there.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
I think you should be able to get every Professor Plum track on there. They probably have both albums and the tape.
It's on Tumblr also.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow, look at all this.
Yeah, you're gonna find some like old moldy stuff and like a bunch of those bands that I remember from my teen years. Like they don't, I don't even know if those dudes play anymore. But that's the demo tape. Yeah. Yep. Our bass player
Awesome.
drew it while like talking on the phone to his
Oh, really?
girlfriend or something. Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
awesome. Thank you. Sorry, Jose, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. The song "Hard Place to Be." Can you tell us what the song means and who is it about? Sounds like it's like about someone not ready for a relationship or something.
So, truth be told, Travis wrote the lyrics to that song just maybe from observing my terrible choices. So,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that came at a great time. I mean, she had a couple of the earlier songs, the ones notably on Dirty Jersey, and I was like, oh no, she definitely needs a new song. And I guess it's almost in a way it's almost a continuation of the song Skinhead Boy, because it's the same general theme of being with some kind of hooligan who can't get his shit together and is risking the relationship. And yeah, I mean, Jenny was partially an inspiration for sure, but surely she's not the only one who's been through that. So now we try to use it as a cautionary tale. It shows, and
Yeah.
and well, Skinhead Boy was originally supposed to be a duet of two women singing to each other about the same, like yelling at the same dude, and it was meant to be for just guest singers. And he started writing it when I was just new in the band, and I was like, well, I sing also. And then I just ended up like taking the whole song. So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
she fucked up. She fucked up telling me she could sing, and sure as hell can.
I did write the one on the new album though. Won't Lose Sleep. I wrote all the words to that. So
Okay,
that one I wrote.
cool, cool.
Music and words she wrote. I did the music and words all the other songs, and now I'm done. I'm done writing for her. She's good. She can do it herself.
That's actually one of my questions, Jenny, about that song. Won't Lose Sleep. Is that
Mhm.
another relationship song? I guess.
Oh yeah, that's about a very specific person that most
Okay.
people in my life know, and I won't name names because they
Okay.
don't deserve it. But
No.
yeah, like I mean, I never like. I don't like to try to like gender like the subject of my song because I would like to think that anyone could relate to it, I guess. So like, and if you listen to it, like it could be about a friend or like a sibling or a family member. It's not even just like romance. It's just about like somebody who's like really really shitty and just drags you down and you're just like I don't know, kind of watching them behave badly and ruin their life. And you're like, I'm done. I'm not losing sleep over this. Like this person's out of my life. I'm done. And I feel like we can all kind of relate to that to some degree, you know?
Yeah.
That's a great song. I saw the video for the Supernova a few years back, that you did.
Thank
Now,
you.
what other ska bands are local to you guys? We know of a few of them. Do you guys remember the Derringers from Hoboken?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I was just talking about them the other day because my friend, so that NJPP archive, they have there's a Facebook group for that too, and a friend of mine's cleaning out some stuff from her childhood home, and she found a flyer that the show the Derringers played at this venue that's no longer around called the Cove in Roselle, and I was like, this is the show that the Derringers played through their set and still had time, and we were like, one more song, so they played the first song
He has a flyer, I bet.
again. They played the first song again because they were like, we don't know any more songs.
It's funny. Do you have a flyer there,
Yeah,
Daryl?
in '98, I toured with one of the bands, the Adjustments, who used to be called a band called Janitors Against Apartheid, and we played with in Hoboken with them at some place, and I liked them so much I actually wanted to release their album. So back in '90, I don't know, '98 or yeah, this was '98. We had like a 3 label comp, and I actually put them their Yeah 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 song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It goes.
Yeah,
Ba, 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 ba,
yeah, exactly.
ba. That's the song they
Better
played,
than none.
and the end of their set. They played it in the beginning and the end because they had extra time, and I'll never forget that song because I heard it twice that night.
Yeah, I really liked them. They only had a demo tape at that time, I remember.
Hmm.
But I don't think they did anything else thereafter.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so either.
But you guys have Joker's Republic. Who else is from the area?
Currently, God, who's currently doing it? There used to be so many bands, and now I feel like there's so few as far as
Yeah, now
Scott's concerned.
my brain is fried. If you count the Philly metropolitan area, then you can, because we just did a tour with a band called the Bad Ups and Catbite, obviously. Um, who else is from New Jersey?
I know. I'm trying to think. Who opened had a? What was the last time who opened at the last New Jersey
Was
show?
Bigger
It was
Thomas from Jersey or New York?
Yeah, Bigger Thomas is from New Jersey.
Well, they were.
They're like-
That's why I don't know if you're talking about past. There's a jillion bands we can name from
Oh,
Jersey,
yeah.
but I thought you were talking about current. But Bigger Thomas, I mean, they formed in 1988. They're pretty much the first New Jersey ska band.
Hmm.
And our guitar player Rob George was a member of Bigger Thomas, actually.
And Mark's with Fensick now, right?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Mark and Roger from the Fensick. Yep.
Yeah, they went on to form
Oh,
other.
I played in a band with them too, and I totally forgot to mention it. I used to be in a band with Mark and Roger from the Fensick, and Greg, our old drummer, and their guitar player, Robert, and it was called Rude Boy George, and we did new wave songs as ska and reggae. We played some really fun gigs because people like 80s music, so
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's cool to hear that.
Bigger Thomas is generally no more, but we were able to sort out a nice gig. What was that? That was it'll be 2 years in October, I believe it was, right? 35th
Yeah.
anniversary show down in Asbury Park, which was awesome. It was really good.
That's a popular place for a lot of big bands to play.
Mm.
Yep, yep. It always has been. I mean, New Brunswick used to be a big music hub for New Jersey, and it's not so much anymore because it got bought out by corporations and hospitals and universities and stuff. But Asbury Park, thankfully, has still remained a good stalwart musical fort down there on the Jersey Shore.
Very nice.
Cool. So the album Drinking Rage has a lot of bangers. Some of my favorite songs are In the Mind of the Skin, right? Won't Lose Sleep and Come and Get Out of My Life. How was it recording this album and creating such a great album?
Recording
Well,
was a long process, and we really
yeah.
wanted to. We intended to get this album out like a year before it came out, so it was
The
it
whole.
was a
Go
lot.
ahead. Go ahead. That's what
Uh,
you're good time.
I don't have much else to say about it. We do like a hybrid studio, like in person studio, and then a hybrid like at home studio stuff. So I did my vocals and like my solos like in our studio in this room, and yes, that photo's taken in New Brunswick. Um, and we kind of do like a hybrid thing, but like yeah, getting together to like record stuff was a process, and it took us way longer than we wanted it to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every step of it took longer. It's we'll
Yeah.
rethink that going forward, but the whole thing is if the whole concept of drinking rage was obviously a play on drinking age,
Mhm.
which is 21, because at the time we intended for this album to come out in 2023, which would have been our 21st year as a band.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It didn't come out till it was a little later than that. 20 end of 2024. So I mean, even from the first track, Bloodstream, the very first lyrics are 21 years, and we're still fucking at it. So, and part of me, there was a period where I was like, God, should I change the whole album name now? Because it's not going to be 20. And I'm like, nah, no, it's stupid. It was a good concept. It was a good theme. We liked all the songs, the type of tracks on there. So we just kept it.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
There's a few albums that I really can't find anywhere. I think there's a couple of
Of
them
ours,
of yours that I can't find.
I'm looking what you got back there. I see 1, 2, 3. You got 6 of them.
I have, yeah. So I have
That Life After Death there.
Blood, Sweat, and Beers.
Okay, there's number
I've
1.
got Dirty Jersey with
Number 3.
Jenny doing something weird on the inside.
That's not weird. That's not weird at all.
Yeah, Peter's Dozen.
There's
Blood,
number
Sweat,
6.
and Years.
There's number 7.
Life After Death, and of course this
Number
one. But I
5.
can't find the one with the girls. You showing their butts in the back or whatever.
That's Mass Appeal. You are
Mass
missing.
Appeal.
Yeah, you're missing Mass Appeal and wait. Now I forget what you just showed me.
And I think the best of, and I think Mass Appeal, Ska Black Sheep,
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're missing Mass Appeal and Ska Black Sheep. That's all you're missing.
and the best of.
Well, that's so the best. You're talking about Katie Suter Fermentum, correct?
It's what?
Katie Suter Fermentum. That's just a vinyl thing. That's not really.
Oh,
I don't count that as a separate album because that's just like a compilation of stuff we'd already recorded.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks
Whereas
like just
the 8
two.
albums I'm referring to are all new original albums.
Right on. Let's see. Okay, so
Got it.
was it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So members of your band, including members of Inspector 7 and the Skoidats, played a couple years ago in Supernova 23 when we saw that as Droogs Don't Run. That's when we talked to you, Travis, at your table. How did this whole thing come about, and is Droog still a thing?
I mean, it came about when I'm trying to remember. I know there was during COVID, there was a lot of back and forth about if there was going to be a supernova and who was going to be on it, whether we were going to be on it. And I remember I started thinking about it probably 2 years before it actually happened and came to fruition. It might have part of it was we'd been on a good number of the Supernova fests, and sometimes people want to mix things up and not necessarily have the same band on every year.
Mm.
We were blessed to be on as many times as we have been. So when I wasn't sure, I feel like I wasn't sure if we were going to be on, what the next Supernova was going to be. So I was like, and I cooked up that idea. I was like, what if, because like I said, as far as Inspector Seven is concerned, we stopped playing in 2001, started playing again in 2003, kind of like what quote unquote reunion shows. Did about 1 or 2 shows a year for about 9, 10 years. And then we kind of reformed and essentially merged with Hub City. Like I was in 3 bands basically for between 2003 and 2014. I was in Inspector Seven, Steel Toe Solution, and Hub City Stompers. In 2013, we attempted kind of like put everything all together under the Inspector Seven banner, and it was essentially just I'd be joining Hub City Stompers. Essentially, what happened. And a lot of the original Inspector Seven members from back in the '90s weren't involved in that, and that concept only lasted about a year before we decided to just abandon that and just go back to Hub City Stompers in 2014. So I'm still in touch with a lot of the original Inspector Seven members for back in the '90s. I'm still in touch with the Skoidats, or at least those that aren't completely off the grid. And so I first contacted Justin and ran the concept by him. It's like, hey, what if, we got the Droogs back together? I mean, that's what we called ourselves. We were like the Droogies, and Spectre 7 and Skoidats have a long touring history and brotherhood. And, we wrote the song Night of the Droogs celebrating that. And so I thought of the name as well and ran it all by him. And I wasn't sure if he was going to be into doing it or not. And he was all about it. So I just took it step by step, reaching out to people, seeing what old heads I could get involved in. And we came up with a really, really banging lineup. And, was able, and I ran it past Tim and at Supernova, and he was down. And so we pressed ahead. We practiced with local people here. We flew Justin in for one practice in Trenton, New Jersey, and then we all got together for another practice just prior to the show that Justin missed, by the way. And but nonetheless, we pulled off the set, and it was just a great feeling, the energy up there and the old vibe, and just connecting the whole family of Hub City, Inspector 7, and Skoidats. I mean, it was a great feeling, and I'd love to do it again if we could just pull it off in a cohesive way. I'd love to do it again, but it's not like something that's going to be a regular touring thing. I mean, John Chapman lives in
Sweden,
in Europe, in Sweden, and Justin's in Montana, and so it's not exactly something where we can practice every week. So for a special occasion, I'd put it together again. I'm just waiting for an invitation to that special occasion or something I can target and force us on.
And those Droogs are basically those members of that little gang, like from Clockwork Orange, right?
Yeah, it's all Clockwork Orange references, definitely. I mean, we even screw around and speak to ourselves in NADSAT terminology sometimes, back on tour, which was the language used in Clockwork Orange.
And you drink the milk too, with the laced milk?
We have never had Morocco Plus, but you know what? The next time Droogs on Run gets together, we'll have to think of a recipe.
Milk by itself is gross. I don't know.
I'm sure Scoochie will think of something. Yeah.
It was really fun for me because I loved the Skoidats so much as a teenager, and I remember going to their final show before they broke up, and I was super mad because everybody in the band was real drunk and they sounded terrible.
Oh.
I was so mad. I'm like, I paid money for this. But they were having a great time. Like, as an adult, like, now I'd go back and watch it and I'd be like, oh, it was so funny. They were having a great time. But, like, as a teenager, I was like, no, I'm pissed. Like, I want my money back. But I'm sure it wasn't as bad as I remember it. But, yeah, everybody was real drunk and, like, just, like, there for the party. So, getting to play, like, Skoidat songs, because I learned a lot of them, like, as a teenager in my bedroom, was super fun to get to play them with John. And they are harder than they seem. honestly, because I always played the main riff, but when I got to play the harmonies under those, I was like, oh, this is difficult. So it was fun.
I'd like to correct Jenny. In the fact that I believe it was definitely as bad as you remember.
Wasn't that I'm trying to be nice.
Drunk and
I just
sloppy was
remember
the
I remember Justin having this like giant, like big gulp Pepsi cup, and I'm sure it was not filled with Pepsi. And he just kept going, "Everybody remember to drink your Pepsi." And because I didn't partake as a teenager. I didn't actually drink until I was pretty much legally able to. So I didn't. I was not amused. I clutched my pearls and I was like, I do not approve.
yeah, drunk and sloppiness was. I mean, God, when you got Inspector Seven and Squarettes together on tour, it was oh boy, there's a whole level of Squarettes got banned famously banned from the Velvet Elvis in Savannah, Georgia.
Really?
I'll never forget that. Oh yeah,
What happened?
Just drunk and disorderly, or
Justin got very drunk, and by the end of the set was basically just on his back, just strumming and kicking his legs, and But that was a long night. There was all kinds of things that happened in Savannah prior to the show.
Oh.
Like a cockroach that got flipped over, kicking his legs.
That's
It's in
funny.
the song.
So,
it's my turn, right?
Night of the Droogs. We mentioned the Velvet Elvis.
so the song "One Witch Sister" is another great song. What's going on in that song? Can you explain the lyrics?
Um, it's essentially about a girl whose younger sister commits suicide, and she's not understanding why why her little sister would do that. She's trying to figure out what she missed, and she finds her journal and realized that she'd been sexually assaulted by a local in town who was kind of higher in status and seemed like an untouchable type. And the young girl felt like she had nowhere to go, like no one was going to believe her because she was this younger working class kind of girl. And the sisters, freaked out and her heart was broken. And she's like, okay, well, she wasn't able to get him the legal way. And my sister took her life because of this. So she, being only a couple years older, is able to lure this pedophile to an alley and kills him, cuts his fucking throat, leave him there to die.
Happy
The happy
ending.
story, happy ending.
Happy.
Should
Yeah, I
cut
like
his
the
dick off
word.
first.
I like the words you use in the lyrics, like Crisman, like off his head and stuff. Like, yeah,
Well, she cut him in the forehead first, and he couldn't see because the blood was
yeah,
going in his eyes. Then
yeah,
she was able to get him.
yeah.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
This is all.
Now tell us about this upcoming tour that you have later this month called the Summer of Ska Festival with Girlfriend Records. You guys are going to be playing in Arizona, Nevada, and here in Los Angeles. Looks like you guys are going to be playing with a lot of bands that you probably never played with before, right? Just pretty cool.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, originally, I believe when I was first approached about it, it was just going to be a gig in Vegas, from what I believe, and then it wound up expanding to the two other dates and a little traveling fest, I guess. And yeah, I like to get out to certain places annually if I can, like Texas, the West Coast. We missed that last year because we were on the hunt for a new drummer, so we weren't able to tour as much. So when this idea was presented to me, I was like, oh, great. At least we can get back to, LA, Vegas, Mesa / Phoenix. So I was all for it. And then, I like the idea. I mean, I'm not accustomed to Hub City Stompers headlining a fest necessarily, but we're usually in there, in a nice strategic spots, maybe towards the top or maybe the middle or co-headlining just to get everyone, get all the drunks dancing. But yeah, no, this sounded great, and yeah, because there are plenty of bands that we've never played before, so I mean that kind of excites me more. But we also get to see our homies, Matamoska.
Yes.
In LA, there's a bunch of bands I haven't even heard of. Trinidad Suave,
You never heard of them?
no, Scabrones, Monosukia.
Mano Sucia.
Oh, this is like your thing, dude.
Yes, it is.
But the
Maybe
Hellas are for up north. Los Atascados are
Los
from,
Atascados, yeah.
and Amalgamate is from San Diego.
Played with them
We
before.
played with them before, Amalgamated.
Yeah. The Arizona, you've got a good bunch. I mean, Swigfoot's really good. Bounce House Ska, which I really like too, and the Scavalinas are really good too. On that one, a couple of I don't know, but then the Vegas one, that looks like a lot of bands on that one.
Yeah, that's the Saturday. So I guess Saturday and in Vegas. So I guess that's the biggie. It's the one with the most time.
Yeah, that's how they do it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these, Rude Tone Bandits I've heard of, Amalgamated we played with before. I've heard the Scavalinas. I've heard some of these, some of them I have, and it's weird. Some of them are coming along for this show, some are not. Depends on the show. I like that. It's a different lineup every time.
Amalgamated had that humongous horn section, if I recall. Didn't they have they have a lot of horns, or at least they did when we played with them.
Like bigger than Inspector 7 1995 horns, or
I mean, that was like a marching band. But I remember them having a pretty big horn section. And there was this fabulous woman on, a sax player, and I remember talking to her about Rude Girl Review and stuff. But yeah, they have a big horn section.
Yeah, try Western Standard Time. They've got 14 guys.
Well,
that's a whole different.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah, I can't wait for that 33rd show in LA. I got my ticket.
hell yeah!
Yeah, I want to check out the Hellas.
I'm just gonna walk in for free.
Yeah, we typically don't play LA proper. We have before, but usually we're out in Pomona with the.
Let us know. We do shows.
Yeah.
Well, we have it. Yes, that's what we have the. Oh, it's not that I'm not complaining. The Pomona shows are always amazing. We have a preferred. Yeah, they're like some of our favorite shows to play. We have a preferred promoter out there named Gonzo who books us at Characters. Okay. And because it just always works out great every year. But I mean, from what I understand too, in theory, you could play the LA area probably more than one, once in a tour, because there's everything's so spread out. You can do downtown LA, you can do Pomona, you can do
Well, LA Pomona with traffic are at least a couple hours away.
Exactly. So, 2 different cities.
San Diego without traffic is 2 hours. With traffic, you're looking at about 3.5 to 4. So yeah, it's
Pomona and San Diego is usually how we wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get to Central California with Mida. Damn fly.
Yeah, I haven't played like Modesto and all that. I haven't played there since Inspector 7. Actually, though, HCS did play. Where was
Bakersfield?
Bakersfield.
That was a wacky show.
Bakersfield with some crazy ass show. Was Voodoo on? Voodoo Glow Skulls were on that, and the Mentors were on it.
It was in a luchador arena.
Oh, really?
That's
neat.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool and weird.
Yes, it was great.
Cool. Now the song "Skins Don't Cry" is like a Boys Don't Cry cover, but with different lyrics, right? Why do this cover and about the skins not crying?
I believe the correct term for that song is a joke makeover song.
Okay, joke. Okay. I was like, is that a lyric cover?
Yeah, see, here I was thinking the correct term was parody.
Yes.
Parody.
We had one of our fans,
but it was explained to us.
What was that again, Jenny? The term?
One of our fans does often refer to those songs as joke makeover songs.
Why say parody? Say joke makeover songs.
It's joke makeover songs.
I love parodies. If you notice, that's not the only one we have. I've been referred to as the Weird Al Yankovic of ska. And they're, they're perhaps my songs aren't as lighthearted as Al Yankovic's are, but he is an inspiration for sure. And it's, like I said, we break balls and kind of make fun of everyone, particularly the demographic that is our fans, and we have a large skinhead following. So it's just kind of, it's a ball breaking song on the Skins.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's funny. Yeah,
let's be honest, just like I make fun of the ska scene, I make fun of the Skin, I make fun of everybody.
that's cool though.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, but the Skins love it. It's they know the truth when they hear it. Like yeah.
Fun fact about that song: when we do it live, there's a part where Travis sings "Knocking those Budweisers back,"
Yeah.
and I harmonize with him when we do it live. But it's not always Budweiser; it's whatever beer he's drinking at that moment.
Ah.
And I
Oh.
don't usually get a heads up, so I just have to look over and he'll go, and like,
Oh.
no.
It's this one this time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like for the most part it works out well, but sometimes if we're like in a brewery and it's like something real like microbrewery and like niche, I'll be like knocking those back. Because I can't read it, or if it's dark, but you'd think that I'd take the time to like look before the set, but I don't remember until I'm about to say the words, and then I just look over.
It's always right before the part. I gotta remember you make sure to kind of angle it towards her,
Yeah.
And it also helps if I pick a 3-syllable beer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Title has to be 3-syllable beer, or 2 syllables, and we just add beer on at the end.
Yeah.
So either way.
That seems to be the formula.
You just got to make sure when he shows you the beer that you can actually read what it is, or you'll also be like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like if we play Japan, sometime we're screwed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now your band played Supernova last year, and you'll be playing again this year, which is awesome. Tell us about your past experience being involved in this amazing festival, and what you are looking forward to this year. Any bands that you're most excited about that we hope will be there?
I've been, I've ever since we first played Supernova, I asked to, see if we can get back on every year, and it's we've been very, very, very fortunate. I don't take it for granted, believe me.
Got added late the first time we played it, and
That's true.
we made a little video to commemorate the occasion, if you recall.
Oh wait, which one was that? We made 2 videos for Supernova. What was the first one?
You will find me.
Oh, Supernova.
Yeah, we did
Outdoor Supernova. That's right.
we did a joke makeover of Champagne Supernova. We dedicated it to Supernova. So
That is pretty
but
cool.
it's every single time, every year, it gets better and better and better. I mean, it's nothing but upwards.
Mhm. Hopefully, yes.
So that's why we get more and more excited to be on every year. And this year we're playing twice actually. We're playing,
After party, huh?
yeah, we're doing an after party
Mhm.
on the Friday.
Friday. Mhm.
New Jersey versus Connecticut Battle Royale.
We already know Jersey's going to win.
Well, I mean,
right? Come on.
really?
My bet's on Jersey.
We had Sergeant Skag on here last week. They would say different.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they? They'd also say that Connecticut has good pizza. So
Oh, yeah, they did.
Which you know is a lie.
a lie. It's beyond a lie. It's
Yeah.
God bless. Yeah, that'll be a fun battle royale.
I mean, I know it wasn't their idea to get into this with us. It was like Supernova's idea to do this, like New Jersey versus Connecticut. But like, we are like sarcastic, salty motherfuckers, and we're gonna have all the digs. Just saying, all the jabs.
I don't care how many blow up, inflatable animal costumes you bring or whatever.
Foam swords. They're gonna bring the foam
knives
swords.
to pop that shit. So.
Oh, buddy. What has been one of the most challenging moments in your career as Hub City Stompers, and how did you overcome it?
Geez, what's the most what was challenging? I mean, COVID was challenging.
Mhm.
But that was for everybody. That was for every band. That's the one that pops into my mind most.
We did okay with it though, because we were able to have the rhythm section practice and write, and then the horns stayed home because our instruments just explode spit everywhere. It's like a disease spreader. So it wasn't safe. But I mean, would you say, Travis, that for maybe some part of our band's existence, that some like old Inspector Seven beefs have affected us here and there
I
Hmm.
mean,
that
that
like weren't valid
affected us
anymore?
not largely. It's been kind of a, I mean, it's not really beefs, it's just beef because it's really just one person, one member of what is now known as Inspector Seven, with all the new members, that has any kind of issue with us. Um, so
Oh
there's
no. Well, I
it
was
hurts
thinking
it
more
hurts
like
them more than it hurts us, really.
beefs from the '90s when you were in Inspector Seven.
Oh,
Like
I thought you're talking about like the
we had an issue where we were trying to book on the West Coast, and a guy didn't
oh,
like you. Do you
Oh.
remember this? He
yeah,
didn't like you.
and also with Hamilton Street,
Yeah. And like
things
the
like that.
dude like didn't like Travis from the '90s and
Oh.
like spread rumors to get us kicked off the show. And
Oh.
then yeah, and this other club, Hamilton Street, was like, "Oh, your band's too violent and invites violent, patrons, so you can't come." So like dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, Inspector Seven had a rep back in the '90s, and part of it was part of this from the skinhead following and
Oh.
things like that. And there was a yeah, there's a when HCS started playing, there were some people, I guess, who didn't know Inspector Seven that well, that didn't realize the connection. And there was this club, Hamilton Street, that had booked us. So, like I said, I think that was where we played our first show. And and there was another show, another venue up in Montclair that was partnered with that location. And so we were playing both venues for, I don't know, a couple of years, few years.
Hmm.
And then suddenly the owner got wind. Part of it is, so there was an incident at his old club in Boundbrook, called, I believe it was called the Palace, where Inspector Seven played there with a bunch of bands. One of the bands being Bad Luck 13 Riot Extravaganza. That's literally the name of the band.
Oh. Wow.
And it's a pretty accurate descriptor. So
Yes, it's in that. I mean, they were named that for a reason. If you look them up, you'll see what their reputation was as well. And Bad Luck 13 Riot Extravaganza headlined the show and played their set, which is what it was. And somehow, because we were on the bill, I think the owner connected us with that.
Ah.
Then
Oh.
um, fast forward years later, he suddenly realizes, like, oh, Hub City Stompers, Inspector Seven. And at that point, we had the lineup change. It was post 2004. And I was the only member of Inspector Seven who was in the band at the time, or who was in Inspector Seven that night, who was in Hub City Stompers. Um, and but he didn't care, and I had nothing to do with anything that happened that night. I just kind of watched and, like, all right. I mean, I laughed, I was amused, but at the riot that broke out. But so he banned us from his club, and
Hmm.
our keyboard player at the time, Ambrose, worked sound for that venue, and was giving the guy a lot of shit for it. Be like, we have we have nothing to do with this. You're being so unreasonable, this and that. And at one point, the owner left a voicemail on Ambrose's answering machine, which worked out great in our favor because we wrote a song called "Fuck Hamilton Street" about the venue.
Oh.
And
listen to that voicemail yourself if you like. It's on the
yes,
song.
if you
I
go
gotta
into
listen to it.
"Fuck Hamilton Street," you can listen to a little sampling of that. So.
Okay.
His reasoning as to why HCS was banned.
Can you
And
tell us why?
Well, I guess again, the connection of from what happened at his former venue, the
Oh, just
Palace,
that? Okay.
night. This is the same guy.
Same thing,
Inspector
same
Seven played
situation.
this
Okay.
even
show that
though
broke out into a riot. He somehow blamed it on Inspector Seven, or
Oh,
connected
okay.
it to Inspector
even though
Seven.
none of us like all the only person who was physically at that show when that happened was Travis. And the
Wow.
rest of us weren't even involved, but we couldn't do that. As far as like challenges we've overcome, like any ska band, we all have lives and jobs and schedules, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will say that like things are pretty good in this group in that we all like are on the same page with how much like time and effort we're willing to put in, which is really nice and also kind of rare. So it's been in like, we're a pretty drama-free crew, so it's not been too bad. I'll say it was challenging to find a new drummer. That took us a year.
Yeah,
Oh,
last year.
wow.
Yeah,
We
to
still
find
were
a
able to
Nice.
play and figure things out here and there, but we had to slow things down and figure it out. And it was looking grim for a while. We weren't sure what was going to happen. but um, but yeah, we landed a new drummer.
Okay.
And he's never allowed to leave.
You chained him to
Fucked
the
up
drums or
too.
what?
Really fucked up.
Uh,
I mean, technically, we haven't really let go of our old drummer, so but still,
Yeah.
Still call him in from time to time. But yeah.
you'll see him out. You'll see him out in L.A. on keyboards.
okay. Cool.
Our old drummer will be playing keyboards
Yeah,
on the road with us. So
Nice.
Now, I think I initially had this question from back in May for you guys. Um, this was back then. I see your band. I said just played in Detroit and in Pennsylvania. Back then for the This Is Not Croydon Fest. I don't even know what Croydon is.
Croydon.
Croydon.
Right.
Croydon.
It's a town
Croydon.
in Pennsylvania across the river from us.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Are these just one-off shows? Do you guys just shoot there and back? Looks like the states nearest us are many hours away to drive to. But is it much easier for you guys to get there?
Well, as far as This Is Not Croydon Fest, that's in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. You got to understand where we're located. First of all, Jersey itself, there's no point in the state of New Jersey. It's a small state that's more than 3 hours from the other point. You could drive across it in an hour or less, and top to bottom in less than 3 hours. Or from like southeast to northwest. The farthest point you can get there within 3 hours. We're right on the border with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is basically, so if you're talking like Pittsburgh, yeah, that's 5 hours away from us. But Bensalem, it's like we're
25 minutes.
half of HCS lives right on the Delaware River, so we can see Pennsylvania. I can go down the street and I can see Pennsylvania across the river. So it's right there. That we can play. That venue is called Broken Goblet. We can play that at any time. It's 20 minutes away. As far as Detroit's concerned, that was a weekender because we did Pittsburgh along with that as well. It was a little Rust Belt weekender, as I called it. So we drove out to Detroit, played that show, and then hit Pittsburgh on the way back.
Did you
We
guys
do
play with
like,
Killer Diller or Detroit Rhythm Crew?
Oh yes, they did that show with us. They set it up for us in their little like brewery that they have at all their events at.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Killer Diller, man, their horn section is.
Yeah.
They got all these jazz cats. Oh my god, there's a lot of great players in that band. And they're of course wonderful, amazing people. And they hooked
Eric Abbey hooked us up.
Eric, Abby, and Kara. Everybody's just so good to us.
Yeah, we interviewed them a few weeks back too.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't put that out yet though.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But yeah, so it's so much easier for bands on the East Coast to jump over to all these different states. Here, not really, not at all.
Yeah, if you're playing Cali or
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean we could.
We're Hewis.
We are Hewis. I'll basically like anything within a 3 hour drive, 3 hours or less, I'll do on a Friday night. And then if sometimes if I'm putting together a weekender, so it's like all right, anything within an 8 hour drive, I'll do on the Saturday, but I'll try to connect things there and back within 3 hours. Or
yeah. So for the West Coast tour,
for the Northeast, that's easy to do.
Yeah. So for the West Coast tour, are you guys flying out, or are you guys just driving?
Oh no, we're flying out. Yeah, because it's going to take us 3 days to drive out there to play 3 days, and then 3 days to drive back. So.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, maybe I was just speculating when we're on we just did a little Texas tour where we did the same thing, a Texas weekender. We did Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, and I was speculating, because I'm going to be retiring soon, actually. So I have a little time on my hands. I was like, maybe I can drive a van out now for these weekends, pick you guys up at the airport, and then we have to rent a van. So I got my wheels turning and ways to save time and money.
Nice.
But no, for now we have to fly out, rent a van. It's very costly.
You're gonna have to bring your old guy butt cushion if you plan on doing that.
That's
And I'm
my
not
my
joking. I'm
wife
sitting on one right now. So
Me too.
in my car as we speak. Literally on our on this Texas jaunt, my wife, the Snow Queen, who is our band mom and merch expert, um, merch specialist, she ordered me a butt cushion. She had it overnighted to where we were sleeping in Houston. So it was there in the morning. So I had it for the rest of the drives because as of late, in my old age, my after about 1 hour of driving, I start to feel the discs start acting
Oh.
up down at the bottom there.
Mhm.
So and it was effective. It worked. So yes, I will definitely be bringing that. I'll have to just
Cool.
pack that in my bag, or maybe I'll pack with the merch on future tours.
Nice.
There's one thing I didn't catch, and I don't think that we waited for your answers, but for the Supernova, which bands were you most excited to see?
Oh,
Oh.
I mean that I mean that Rockers
Oh,
so
it's too
Rockers
bad.
reunion is what I really got amped for. And now I know it's kind of, I guess, reduced, or I don't know
Mhm.
what's going on with that. But whenever there's bands, I mean, Desert and Publico, I can't wait to see. I love Out of Control Army. Um, I guess anyone, whenever bands are coming over from Europe, I'm always excited to see them. So that's Los Fastidios. I'm starting to see them.
Yes.
Um,
We interviewed them
gosh, who else?
on Sunday.
Oh, Darkest Gangs. Oh,
Darkest
who
Kings.
loves
Yeah.
Fastidio?
Yeah, we
Yes.
interviewed
Yeah,
Los Fastidios on Sunday. Though we spent almost 3 hours with them.
Almost 3 hours. Yeah.
Those two, Enrico and Eliza are just amazing people.
Mhm.
They're so great. And then
yeah.
we got DACA next in 2 weeks.
oh, awesome!
Yeah,
They're
Very
so
much
good.
looking forward to seeing them. I love Darkest Gangs. We played with them over in England before, and
yeah.
they're awesome.
Mhm.
And you can have Jenny, who she's excited to see.
I mean, Dacus Skanks, Los Fastidios, and also the Magnetics, which I feel like I mentioned in the Rude Grill interview that we played with them in Mexico, and they don't really play in the United States, so that'll be exciting.
Mhm.
And I was super stoked to see Voodoo back on the tour
Mhm.
because I mean
Oh, right.
we
They got that.
we did a short tour with them out in California and had a great time, and I always love seeing them. Um, who else?
You got
I
it.
can't remember the lineup.
Yeah, I'll show you here.
No, there's like a million.
Oh, look at
Here's a
I mean, Pie's always
Lolly-
good.
Lollipop.
You
Oh,
see it?
Lollipop. Yeah, that's gonna be
The
interesting.
lollipop. Yeah.
New York ska jazz ensemble is like going back in time,
Uh-huh.
like the '90s, so that'll be interesting.
Man, I
I'm just
could never
always
see.
excited
I could.
I'm always excited for Supernova because like Tim and April are really good to us. They really treat the bands well, and it's like a weird family ska dork reunion. So it's always a good time.
And I
Yeah,
can
I'm
see the
glad.
Love and Pauper a
Oh
million
yeah.
times. So like they could do a 3 hour set, and I'd be okay. This is cool.
Yeah.
I love the Love and Pauper.
Yeah, I'm glad Daryl told me about this festival a couple years ago, and yeah, and been
Yeah.
going over since.
Yeah, we'll have a presence there this year. This time since we're doing this and sponsorship as well. So
Mhm.
that should be fun. We'll be a lot of ska dorks over there.
Yeah.
Keep telling people on tour, whenever we're on tour, and people ask about it, I'm like, you don't understand. You got to go. You got to go.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a great location too. A lot of area to walk
Except for
around.
those damn bugs.
Oh,
Oh God.
I'll have to send you a link of the special balm that I use to get rid of the bitey flies.
okay.
We've tried those little things that what are those things the little bracelet things.
No,
We've tried spray.
I I tried
lotion.
off I tried off deep woods and that wouldn't stop the biting flies.
Huh.
But there is a balm that's like for some reason they hate it. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Is it like a certain type of fly? What is that?
I don't know. They're asshole flies. I don't know. They're very bitey.
It is. That's a scientific term, I believe.
It's
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Now I was fortunate to see you guys live at this is not Cordome Fest. How was it playing on such a great bill? Yeah. uh,
I want
it,
I want to hear how many different ways you guys can pronounce Croydon.
Croydon. What did I say? Cordon?
Like,
I said,
oh,
go,
you're making it sound much more classy a place than it really is.
the venue is great though. I love it. I'm gonna go back again next year, bro. Uh, But
That
do you
room
have
is
any?
great. Broken Cup is a great room to play.
Yeah, do you have any memorable moments of that show or weekend?
Uh,
Oh, geez.
every year, I mean, don't let this keep you from going to This Is Not Croydon. But every year I have such a good time and get such little sleep that I bring home the Croydon crud, and I end up with a cold that comes at the end of the festival.
Oh,
Luckily, I get to enjoy the whole thing first, but as soon as like the next day I go to work, I usually have like the Croydon crud, which, not the official illness of the festival. It's just what I deal with afterwards. But it's always so freaking much fun.
yeah. It was so
And
much
it's nice to
fun.
have a fest of that magnitude 20 minutes away too.
Hmm.
Jenny, I had so much fun that I kind of messed up my left knee. I
Oh
skanked too
no!
hard. Yeah. So it's still kind of like ever since I've been going to saw shows and it's been aggravating it ever since. But yeah.
I'm so
Is
sorry.
is that bomb called Chigorex?
It's
Chigorex?
called like No Bite Me or something. It's
No
Don't bite
called.
me,
bite me.
Bambi. No.
Oh, you don't. I'm sorry. You just emailed me.
I emailed it to
Oh,
you.
okay. Thanks.
There's a comma in there,
This.
right?
No Bite
Oh,
Me.
got
No,
it. Okay.
bite me.
Bite. No bite me. Okay, that's good. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at?
Good question, bro.
My question now. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Um, right now, who are your current favorite ska and or punk bands on the scene?
People ask me that, and there's not a lot of anything new that I've honestly. I'm always late to the game, discovering bands and listening, hearing new bands. So as far as new is concerned, it's like I honestly don't know. Sometimes I'll just discover them at some of these shows we play, and I mean, I was people ask me on interviews, and I'm always saying cat bite, but they're not new. They're like they're established band now, but like remember when they're first on, it's like cat bite's badass. Um, so yeah, I don't even know how to answer that right now as far as
We
like
just did
new
a
ones.
we just did a run with the Bad Ups from Philly, and
Oh,
they have some like ska tunes, but they're mostly like a punk band, but they're very melodic and have like a pop sensibility without being too poppy, which I really enjoy. Um, so definitely check them's out. They're not new, but like I've played with the Bandulus a lot at the end of last year because we did like the Slackers Holiday run with them when I was with Lady Hatchet Quartet, and I got to see the Bandulus 4 nights in a row, and like they also did Reggae Workers of the World with Vic, and I was just like, oh, this band's fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
I don't get to see them all the time because they're on the other side of the country. But then I got to see them at Croydon after just seeing them a few months prior, and I was like, what a freaking treat. Like, they're just so, so good.
the Snow Queen just reminded me that I like the Galaxy Has Eyes. That we
Hmm.
remember we played with them in DC. They
Oh, yeah,
were
they were great.
badass.
They were
What about
great.
Galaxy Has Eyes? So I became a fan of them that night. Is that DC or is that Baltimore? I forget where it was at.
I think it was Baltimore
Baltimore.
because Pablo was there.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Now, can you tell us about your early years working with Megalith, then Altercation, Stubborn, most recently Jumpstart, including why the change from label to label, please?
It's really just a matter of circumstance. I mean, as far as changing them, but like I said, we put that one initial track out on the Megalith compilation, Still Standing, and I mean, I've known Buck from back when I used to catch the Toasters at City Gardens in the '80s, and then through when I started playing in Inspector 7, and we'd occasionally play with the Toasters as well, and I've just been friends with him throughout the scene, and he did Moon did initial Inspector 7 Squad split, and then told us to go fuck ourselves when we wanted to do a full length with it. No, not really. They when Inspector 7 we were going to record our first album. We were recording Moon and Radical Records. But Moon had just started a new label or sub label, I guess, called Ska Satellite, and they wanted to put us on that. And I remember us being insulted,
Oh,
why can't we be proper, like we
Yeah.
expected 7. We were all so we went with Radical. Probably should have just went with Ska Satellite. But anyway,
But that was for
So
like
I knew-
less established bands, though. That's what that little sub.
exactly. That's why, and I don't know in our brain who the hell we thought we were, but we weren't happy with it at the time. I guess like, well, we've been playing for a whole. Well, technically, the band itself had been around for 5 years because during '92 and '93 it was just under different monikers. I joined in '94 right after they renamed themselves Inspector 7, but we thought we were established enough to be on Moon. But hey, maybe we weren't. We hadn't toured yet and stuff. We didn't really start touring nationally till '97. So yeah, I knew Bucket from that, and I talked to him about the new project, and he seemed excited about it, and signed on to do our first two. Well, so we did Blood, Sweat, and Beers with him, and that worked out. And then Mass Appeal we released ourselves. Technically, it's just an EP. And then Dirty Jersey, which was the first album is the first album and really nailed things down for us and established who the hell we were. But Dirty Jersey was really our defining album and really defined our sound and our attitude and a lot of things. And that performed very well on Megalith. I say myself, Bucket can dispute me, but from what he told me and what Jeremy, who also was working on the label, told me, that did quite well. And then I don't recall when Megalith started kind of winding things down, because we probably would have kept working with them. I mean, I had no complaints really. Most of the labels we work with is kind of like meet you halfway kind of thing. It's none of this. You're like, hey, we're paying for this, we're paying for all of this, and we're paying for all of this, and we're gonna give you all this tour support. Like, it's not the '90s. Like,
Yeah.
So that's what that's what I expect, and that's what it's been. Obviously, we know Django from forever as well. So working with Stubborn was, a no-brainer as well. So we just kind of, once we weren't working with Megalith anymore in that capacity, we talked to Django about working with Stubborn. Same deal, same kind of, experience as far as, what you do, what you get, and it's fine with us. And then I am trying to recall how we got linked up with Altercation. I don't know if it's because we had played the venue of the guy Travis Myers who had run it, and he approached us then. Perhaps he had a place called Snapper McGee's in upstate New York, and he had one in Snapper McGee's in Connecticut. So I believe that's how we linked up with him, and he approached us about having, or whatever our next record was going to be after Life After Death on his label, and it wound up being Haters Dozen, which wound up being also a very popular record. So we were happy with that. We got some videos out of it. Some we were happier with than others. And so they're like, all right, we gave it another go with the seventh album, Blood, Sweat, and Years, which is kind of like a redoing of a lot of our earlier material, because like, obviously I want to preserve that early material as it was and in the spirit that it was and the style it was, but a lot of it's been updated so much sound-wise just because of the lineup change from the original lineup, that I wanted to kind of preserve how it sounds now as well and add on some new songs. So that's what album number 7 is. We did that one on Altercation as well. And then when we were kind of tooling around trying to think this latest album, I was literally like striking, like, who should we work with? I just, I'm always looking for contacts and labels. And there's some out there who are like, I don't know. I'll be honest, a little salty, a little bit bitter, like certain labels that I thought were like cool with us or certainly cool with our friends that I thought would maybe reach out or want to work with us. And apparently that wasn't the case. Some people want to keep us at a distance, which I guess I understand. But who was it? Who suggested Jeremy? Was that you, Jenny, or was it somebody else? Someone said, "What about Jeremy?"
I don't
Was
think it was
Bob?
me, but I don't remember.
It was, or was it James?
Maybe.
Somebody in Hub City said, "Duh, Jeremy, who runs This Is Not Croydon Fest and Broken Goblet, also has had a label for, Jumpstart Records for decades." And I didn't even think to approach him. Someone else suggested. I was like, "Duh." So, I popped across the river, talked to him about it, and it worked out. So,
Awesome.
so yeah, we've never signed on for like a 5-record deal anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just kind of do it record by record, and see who we're happy working with, and like diversifying and stuff, and
Yeah.
seeing what experience we get with each label, kind of thing. So,
Yeah, that's cool, man. Not being tied down. Now, do you have any pre-show rituals to get you ready for your set?
what are you gonna say, Drake?
I
don't know.
sit next to
Drinking?
I sit next to Travis's wife and do singing exercises and warm-ups.
Oh,
Or I find a nice corner and I sing to myself. That's really about it.
okay.
I get on him
Drink
to
and break
warm up all
balls,
the
so I don't know.
time, but he never does.
What's that?
I said I try to get on you to warm up.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's like polishing a turd. I don't know. No, she's looking out for my best interest, because there's times when you're on the road for a few days and the voice just
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to, with some discipline though, hydrating, drinking a little less, getting rest, things like that, but also warming up the voice is key to not losing it. So I've been better about that. I've had incidents in the past where I completely lost my voice, and so I've worked on that.
Oh, okay.
But I've done it in the best. So I've occasionally warmed up, but like I can't do it like her, like out in public like that. I always like find like a bathroom stall or something.
Okay.
I will just like be out in the open going, hoo, he. That's it. I'll be doing all these dumb. Listen, any good vocal warm up is going to make you feel like an idiot. So
It sounds like a Michael Jackson song. Warm up.
well, I was actually singing to his wife, like one of the nights of the tour. I was going, "You're a hoo,
It's funny.
Some of the noises I make at people when I'm drinking before the show, I might as well do that.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know about the other HCS, her chubby sister.
Yeah,
Let's hear about that.
we're suing them. We're suing them for everything they got. Trust me, isn't a lot. Man. No, that's just that's our alternate name if we have to play shows.
Oh no!
that we don't
Wow.
conflict with So like in spring, there was a benefit we really wanted to play. It was for some friends of ours whose son had committed suicide, and we had missed it the year before. We weren't able to do it, so I really wanted to do it this year. But we had this in our Croydon Fest, and I like to respect radius clauses and things like that. And I'm always respect. I always check with promoters and stuff to make sure things won't be an issue, and so I presented that to the promoter of this Not Croydon Fest. I said, hey, if we do this show in Jersey, not too far across the river, it was closer to the shore, so it was a little distance, but not enough. And it's like the week. I think it was like the week before. We'll call it Her Chubby Sister. We'll do, and it was an all cover set. We did all cover songs. I said it won't be the same set in any way, but, and he's like, and he was fine with it, of course. How can you say no? But I really wanted to do it for that particular cause. And what was the last time we did Her Chubby Sister? I forget why
I
or
think
when.
for Scruff's cousin Joey's memorial show, maybe. Did we do that?
Oh yes. Yeah. Apparently, it's just for memorial shows, or for
Yeah.
we'll have to play other happier occasions as well. But yeah, so that's when we do that. That's kind of the unannounced, unadvertised HCS shows, I guess you could say. Everyone knows who the hell it is.
And it's usually all covers.
Yeah.
So when you go on tours, what are some of the crucial items that you need to take with you, except for your instrument, of course?
What do we?
Pepto.
Well, my
Pepto.
what do you bring?
I literally, you want to know?
Yeah.
We're all getting old, but I literally
Yeah.
bring this back wheel with me to roll on.
Okay.
I roll on this back wheel. This lives in my office, so um, I bring that because I'm old. Um, and we usually don't stop for laundry, so enough things to change into that you won't smell terrible.
Okay.
And um, as a lady, I've gotten my like lady makeup kit and hair things down to like a fucking science. So
Nice.
I just bring the merch. Make sure I bring the merch, and other than that, now the only thing I'll bring is, like I said, my newly acquired butt cushion.
yes.
Yeah.
That'll be
I do
that'll be
have also, and like, if there are any ladies who travel or people who wear makeup who travel a lot, I have a folding makeup mirror that has its own light that's so you can do your makeup anywhere. And
Nice.
sure enough, when we landed in Houston and had to go straight to the club before all the people started coming in, I set it up on top of my suitcase and just did my face in the middle of the venue because I can. So you have to
Nice.
and we bring our jerseytude as well.
our
That always
jersey
comes
too.
along.
Yes, sass. You gotta have
So,
sass.
We were
Nice.
talking to Eric Molina a couple weeks ago, and what he does is he brings very little shirts because he gets a T-shirt from pretty much every band at each show, so that's what he uses when he comes back,
Oh, that's
which
so
is smart.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I just saw that he was in New York, I think, a couple days ago, because he showed up in a picture with some of my friends, and I was like, "You picked up a Molina along the way." He's just always out there whoring it up, just
Yeah.
playing with everybody.
Yeah. I love it.
I'll
Yeah, that is
acquire
funny.
shirts on tour, but I won't wear them on tour. Though I'll bring them back, and I like to represent like bands from other areas, like here in Jersey or in local areas, and then vice versa. Like when I'm out, elsewhere, I like to represent Jersey bands or Jersey itself, as you guys will probably see in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also bring earplugs for sleeping because you never know what kind of neighbors you're gonna have. You know,
Oh. Oh yes.
Yep.
when you need to sleep. It's all touring is all very unsexy when you realize that like you actually do have to like get decent rest, or else you're more likely to get sick. You're more likely to lose your voice. Like you know,
Mm.
there's a lot of like unglamorous logistics that you realize after a while.
For real, I can't believe like just the way I used to do it. I look back, particularly in the Inspector 7 days. I'm like, what the hell? How did I survive? And that was for months at a time. Sometimes those for like 8-week tours and stuff,
Mhm.
national all around the country. And I'm like, how did I make it through those goddamn tours, man? Now we're just doing smaller versions, weekenders, or maybe 2 week stops, and it's I can't believe I got through those, man, with the way I was behaving.
Sleeping in the van, sleeping on people's floors, begging for a place to stay, driving through
Hmm.
the night because you have no place to stay. I know. Been there.
Yeah, we've had some of those. We don't really do that as much anymore. Now we stay in like we stay in like vetted people's houses because if someone we don't know, because there have been times where people have been like, "Come stay at my house. There's plenty of space," and what they meant by space was like
The
concrete
floor.
floor.
The floor.
Yeah,
The
or like
concrete floor next to the kitty litter box.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we definitely like we stayed at a house. I didn't stay there. I stayed with a friend that night, but we stayed at a house that was lovingly named Cat Piss Alley.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like people will say, "Come stay in my home," and then you'll be like, "Oh, there's animal pee everywhere."
Yeah.
Oh.
And maybe I'm old fashioned, but I wouldn't invite people to stay at my house if there was pee pee everywhere. But
Yeah.
but that was
Or
the early
cocaine.
days. We don't quite do that as much anymore. Now when we stay at people's houses, I'll go, "How many animals do you have?" And usually there's like a number where I'll go, maybe I'll get a hotel.
Yeah. So do you guys reach out to people beforehand? Like if you're coming to like LA and Nevada and Arizona, people that
Not
you know there,
so
you reach out to
much.
them?
Not so much anymore. I mean, I used to
People
literally
I
put,
know.
hey, if anyone has a place for us to crash, but as of lately, like I said, I'll default to hotel rooms. And yes, it's more pricey, but damn, is it worth it? Because just to get the rest and to, you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
But if there's people I know and I know that, you know what I mean, then yeah, sometimes I'll reach out. I also, I don't like to impose, but sometimes thankfully people offer, like in Texas, we were offered these really
Yes.
good crashes on the last run.
They were
Um,
great, and
incredibly hospitable.
there were two adorable dogs that I made best friends with. I like, and there were nice places, good people. They treated us very well in Texas. Can't complain.
Did you in Houston? Did you play with Los Carnales?
I
They were,
wish.
yeah, I wish.
Oh,
They're old friends of ours. They're Felipe and Evan, and
That's was
Nestor came out to see us. Um, but we haven't played with them in a while. We used to play with them pretty often in our earlier days. And I'm always harassing Felipe, like, we play Houston, we got to link up with you guys. But I play with them anywhere, really. I mean, we love them. They're our brothers, man.
Yeah.
they were one of our like first tours. I
Oh,
feel
really?
like we did with them. Yeah, we flew down.
Texas out to the West Coast with them.
We flew down to Texas and then went out to California. Yeah, I don't remember that whole thing, but that was one of our first like longer tours. Was with them.
And that was in what year, approximately?
What was that? Oh
Four or
six
five.
maybe? Oh
Yeah.
seven.
Yeah, probably.
2007 was when we went to Europe.
Oh yeah, so it was earlier. It was before that. So it was oh 05 or oh 06 then. That we did
Now,
that tour with
I
them.
know because the poster's right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know Jenny's already heard this question before, but Travis, since we know what that ska doesn't pay the bills, what is your occupation, if you care to share? I know you're almost retired, you said.
Yes, I've been working at Rutgers University,
Oh,
um,
nice.
state Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, located in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I've been working there since 2000. I started out as a driver for mail services, Rutgers Mail Services, delivering mail to the various different departments, and I've worked my way up to where I'm essentially number three in command,
Very nice.
assistant manager of the whole department, and I'm done. I
How
I
much
need more
time do you have
time in my
left?
damn day. Um, my official date of retirement is March 1st, but of 2026, because I have to wait till I'm technically old enough to even retire early. Um, but I'm going to backdate it with vacation days and stuff, so I should be done by the new year,
Very
by
nice.
2026.
Congratulations on that.
yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. Not enough time in my damn day. Got to
And
deal with
Jenny,
this band.
you're a teacher or something? What was it again?
I'm a I'm a workers' comp adjuster.
That's
So
right. That's right. We're both in insurance, you and I. That's
yes,
right.
She's also a teacher in certain ways.
teach you how to sit your ass down. No, I don't have the patience to be a teacher, but
Mm,
Professor Jack, Professor Whiskey.
Yep.
there you go. Now I got one final question, guys. Picture Ska History Hour viewers discovering Hub City Stompers for the first time. Which track should they queue up and why?
Remember how we just talked about every song's so different? How the hell am I
Yeah,
supposed to answer that?
I don't know. I know.
I mean, I would say, just to get a general feel and a good kind of vibe song without being too specific in theme, that's a good introduction to us.
Uh,
I would say songs such as What the Fuck Is Up or Bloodstream, which is the
bloodstream.
first song off her new album, things like
Hmm.
that, personally. But that's me. I mean, I know Jenny would possibly think of other songs as well.
I mean, narrowing it down to like a song is really difficult. But like, and for some reason, maybe because like I have the outside perspective of like being a fan of this band before I was in it.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like Mass Appeal is a good one just because like I don't know, it's got a good vibe. We get that halftime part. On top of it, like the words are really clever and I feel like it captures like the kind of sense of humor and like the style that we occupy. So I would say that just because like and maybe because that was my favorite song before I was in the band.
Okay.
And I would literally scream for it. I'd be like, "Play it! Play it now!" Before I
It's a
was
good
in
one
the
to rep.
So you're screaming to your own band to play it?
I wasn't in the band yet.
She wasn't in the band yet.
Oh, that's
They
right.
Yeah.
were they were playing Mass Appeal before. I mean, I'm on Mass Appeal and I recorded it, but they were playing it before then, and I had seen them so many times that I knew the song existed. So I always asked for it.
Yeah, it
And now
didn't
you make
take
sure
much
that
for
it's on the
me.
set list.
What's that?
It usually is. That's been a regular for like from the jump. Like when it's not on the set list, it's weird. It does
Yeah.
happen, but it's mostly on the set list.
Because I've been teased about how much I put that on the set list, how consistently it's on there.
Yeah.
Though I was just yelled at by Liz from the Best of the Worst, another local Jersey ska band,
Yes.
and about not having it on our Brooklyn set that we just played a couple weeks ago. And she apparently, whenever she's either at a show or playing with us, she'll fill in for James if he has to play with his other band. Apparently, Mass Appeal is not involved in the set, and it's not intentional. I'm like, that's weird. That's weird odds because I always have that in the damn set. So now I have to have that included whenever Liz will be at the show.
All right.
Now, what does the future hold for Hub City Stompers? We got any new material coming out? We know about the tours, but want to hear some new music. Yeah, I know you just released this one, Drinking
What are
Rage,
you
which is
talking about? It
amazing.
hasn't even been a goddamn year. Drinking rate.
We want more. We want
Yeah.
more.
It's kids with you, instant gratification, man. Like,
You
all right, I
know,
heard that song once. Give me more.
James has been our trombone player. James has been saying for a while now that we should be like recording more consistently and releasing singles and stuff. And I'm inclined to agree. We just have to finishing new tunes takes like dedicated time away from playing, and we haven't quite taken that time since the album came out for obvious reasons. But I know I have a few on deck that we could do, and I know you do, and so does Rob. So
Yeah, Rob, George, and I definitely have a few in the chamber, and I'm down for that too, doing singles, especially with the way music in my brain. I'm old, so I'm thinking, oh, album, that's be an album. Not necessarily, not these days, not with the way things are digitally and just how
Yeah.
everything works now. It's like I gotta adapt, or an EP or something smaller format and crank the songs out. I agree. I'm always down to do it more regularly if we can. We tend to hunker down in the winter because we don't tour
yeah,
really in the winter unless someone says, come play South America or something. But yeah, we're usually home and doing a lot of recording as far as that's concerned there. We'll have a little time to write in the fall, I feel like too, and hopefully maybe prepare for the winter. So um, perhaps sometime next year, perhaps maybe by This Is Not Croydon Fest, maybe we'll have a thing or two.
All right.
But in
I
the
would like
meantime,
to
enjoy
hear that
Drinking
back.
Rage for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Please buy Drinking Rage so that we can go back to Europe.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't been back. We haven't been there since 2007. So, not
Ain't that
counting
Europe.
just like one-offs in England, but we need to. I would love to go back to Europe.
There's some bands that want it like to trade shows. Like I know what is it?
The Bones.
Capone's and Yellow Umbrella or Umbrella Bed or I think Umbrella Bed they're called, right? They're
I-
trying to swap.
yeah.
So a lot of the European bands want to swap shows, vice versa with some of the bands in the States.
Mhm.
I mean, we know the Capones. We've played with them, and like I said, we've been to more recently a few times, but mainland Europe we haven't been to since we toured there with the Toasters at the end of 2007.
Mm.
and we're dying to get back. I have a couple feelers out and a couple people talking to me about things. I don't want to mention to the band and get everyone's hopes up unless things look like they're going to come to fruition.
Right.
Mhm.
Because that's quite
But
an expense, and the guarantee's got to be there, of course, for you guys.
Yeah.
it does, but like I said, to get over there, as long as you don't get too clobbered financially, we're reasonable. I mean, we haven't been there since 2007, so we're not going to get guarantees like say the Slackers would get over there. It's like so we understand
I
that,
think
but
I think in the where was it that Los Fastidios were talking about? Blackpool, someplace.
Oh yes, Blackpool.
The
Yes.
the big
Blackpool
punk
where
fest.
what's that?
There's a big
Yeah,
punk fest up there.
Hmm.
yeah. They have lots of bands, but they just love bands from the States, they were saying. And I think Stop the Presses were playing it or something coming up. Something like that,
That
they were
same
saying.
that particular show, or just that area?
No, just that show, I believe, when they're going out there. But a lot of the European bands just love the bands from the States coming in because it's stuff they haven't heard yet or seen
Yeah.
actually.
No, I'd love to play the fest up in Blackpool. I think it happens like every August or something.
Yeah, it
But
just
Yeah,
happened. It
yeah.
just
we had a
happened.
good time over there on Specialized. I mean, we
Yeah,
always have a good time playing over there. That's all the way down in the south of
yeah.
England. That's always been a good time. But I'd love to play some other stuff over there too. But
Mhm.
mainland too. I'd love to get to mainland Europe.
I mean, when you're
Germany,
there, you
Germany.
might as well hit all of Europe, right?
Yeah, exactly. Go across the channel.
Now, where can we find your music, both physical and digital?
Digitally, you find it everywhere. Physical. Let's see. I'll work backwards. Obviously, Drink and Rage. I mean, it's everywhere digitally. We have it on our merch table, and it's Jumpstart Records. You can get it from Jumpstart Records as well. There's, it's CD, vinyl, digital, whatever. And then the Altercation record. I don't know. You know what? As far as Altercation is concerned, I'm trying to think if you could order from them directly. I would think you could, but those are also widely available digitally as well. Um, and also, Bandcamp. I think everything except the Altercation records you could find on Bandcamp. A lot of the earlier stuff that from like Megalith, since Megalith's not so much of a label anymore. I have it working out a deal with you get it through Stubborn Records, a lot of our earlier stuff. And obviously you can get our fourth and fifth Scott Black Sheep and Life After Death CD wise, you can get through Stubborn and also, like I said, digitally. But if you look on Bandcamp, I believe you'll see all the albums except the Altercation ones, and then the Altercation ones you can get all other digital platforms. So
Yeah.
It's out there in the various forms, and of course, at our merch table, I have a lot of copies of Dirty Jersey still. We have a lot. We have the latest album vinyl. We have Haters Dozen, and we have Blood, Sweat, and Years typically available.
Do you have those
It's
two that
really
I need though?
Yeah. Well, what are those? What was that?
I think it
Scott
was,
Black Sheep and
and
what was the other one?
the one with the picture of the girls from behind.
Mass
Oh,
appeal.
Mass Appeal.
Massive.
So Mass Appeal is the one we self-released. So we never physically released that one again in a physical sense.
Oh, got it.
But it is, I believe that's one of the ones you could get on Stubborn digitally. And there was a limited vinyl called Katie Suter from Mentum, which is out in 2015. It was like a best of, like we discussed, but that was just the one run, and that doesn't exist anymore too. So yeah, we'll see about putting that back out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or find it on Discog somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a few in my basement, but I think the cases are cracked. 20 years ago. We're talking 20 years ago that one came out. So.
Now, any last words for your fans out there and the viewers of this channel?
Don't listen to y'all. Buy Drink and Rage. We'll get to new stuff later. And so yeah, no, peep out the new album though. It's off the charts. I don't even know
Yes.
how to describe it. It's there's no it's an adventure.
Yes.
It's you think you're gonna be hearing one thing next, and then you hear another thing next, and it's just musically and topically, it's all over the place. It's a fun ride. So yeah, definitely pick up Drink and Rage on Jumpstart Records, and just keep watching us for where we're gonna be. We're like I said, since we've got this new drummer, we've been back in action live, so you never know where we're going to pop up. And if you want us to pop up in your particular spot, you got a good scene, and you feel like we haven't been there in a while, hit us up. We're
Set up a show.
it's Jersey friendly, but it's still friendly. And and come out to Supernova and come out to the fest, come out to Disney Croydon Fest. There are experiences that you won't forget. Be part of the musical community, and it's always people always leave those places with a kind of a refreshed perspective, shall you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always great at Supernova because you see people that you've always talked to all year or whatever. You say, "Oh yeah, how are you?" And it's really good to connect, which is awesome. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Jenny's words of wisdom. Jenny's more eloquent than I.
Well, the new record is basically like a weird little talent show of this band because we've all wrote original music for it, not just like our own parts, but like full tunes. So it's really special in that regard.
Mhm.
And so buy it, or streaming it's okay, but like probably just buy it. And keep supporting ska music. Don't let it go in the shitter like it did in the early 2000s. Just saying.
Mhm.
There's so much different kinds of ska now. There's like one for everybody. There's like a little variation for everybody, no matter what your interest. And make sure that you support bands that include people of color, women, trans folks, queer folks. Just like keep representation coming in ska and keep showing up for those people, please. Because we're moving in a really great direction, but like I'm a greedy bitch. I want more. I want to see more.
We've always been down with the underdogs because we are the underdogs. We've always been the black sheep, so we're down with the black sheep, So, and
You're
make that note.
You're speaking to your brethren right now.
It was and she said Sky was in the shitter in the early 2000s. That's exactly when we formed. So, up to the Stompers, straight from the shitter, right to you. There you go.
That'll be the next record name. Straight from the
Straight
shitter.
from the shitter. All right.
Well, I hate to see that cover.
I won't.
Well, you two, it's been a pleasure. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to speak with us and take your time away from your families. We'll see you definitely at Supernova. We'll be there, so we'll bother you.
33rd Hill.
What's that?
The 30th Hill.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We'll see you before that. We'll see you before
LA.
LA.
A few weeks before that, right? And then we'll see you there. But you guys take care.
Nice.
Have a good, safe tour. Let us know if there's anything that you need. Of course, we're going to promote this to promote your band before you guys hit the road for these shows. So we want to do that for you. Let us know if there's anything that you guys need when you guys are down here. Any connections, free ways to take when there's traffic, things like that. But hold on for a second, right?
Taco spots. How about that?
Oh yeah, taco spots. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Jose knows the taco spot's the best because he's always out and about.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, hold on real quick after, but we'll see you guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. Catch you later.
Hello, Skankers. Jose here, aka Skanking Force. Would you like to win a free Ska Box? It's as easy as following Ska Box Rocks and Sniff Dog Records on Instagram and Facebook. And subscribe to Ska History Hour on YouTube and comment Ska Box Rocks in any video to enter. Good luck!